Hey guys, I hope you are doing well. So today I wanted to sit down and do a in-depth tutorial on how I do my bold, colorful eye looks. So I sat down, I played around a little bit, I just put on some music, and I came up with this eye look, and then I showed you guys on the other eye the steps I took to achieve it. So if you have any interest in that, you can keep on watching. I would love it if you would subscribe down below. My name is Natalie and I love bold eye looks. So this is what my channel will pretty much be based around, is just bold eyeshadow tutorials. So if that interests you, you can hit that subscribe button. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so hi guys. This is the look that I did today. I just sat down with some Silverstein on and my coffee. And I just decided to really play with some color. So this is what I did. I'm sorry if you hear my dog. Anyway, so this is what I came up with. I did use one palette. I used the Karity Smokey palette, which is exciting because in my last video I did use, I think, 3 palettes. So it's really exciting when you can get a full look with one palette. So this is what the inside looks like. So in this video, I'm going to try to go as in-depth as I possibly can to explain what I'm doing so that you guys can recreate this look at home, or maybe just work on your technique or whatever it is, wherever stage you're at in your makeup game. I would love to help you with that. So if you wanted to see this look in action, go ahead and keep on watching. You could hit that subscribe button below for more in-depth looky looks. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm first going to prime my eye. I did already do my eyebrows. Well, I already did my whole full face, but I did already do my eyebrow and I carved it out with concealer, so I'm just priming my eye right now. So I'm just going to take my ColourPop No Filter Concealer and I'm going to place that on my eye. Also, this palette doesn't have a mirror, so I'm just going to be holding up my Soft Glam palette, but just so you know, I'm not using any colors in this, I'm just using it for a mirror. So I'm just going to prime my eyelid. I'm going to put that concealer down and pat it out with a brush. And since this look is pretty blown out, I'm going to take the concealer up pretty high and out this way as well, because this is a pretty blown out look. Okay, so getting started, well, I don't set my base. I don't set my base because I want my shadows to be as pigmented as possible, so I just leave it sticky so the shadows really have something to adhere to. So first I'm just going to pick up a small brush. It looks like this. This is a Lavish Cosmetics eye shading brush. So I'm just going to take this flat brush and I'm going to first pick up this blue shadow. It's called Karma. And I'm first going to dab that color on. And what I'm going to do is stamp this color in the outer crease of my eye. So I'm going to look in my mirror like this so I can really see where I want to map out this, where I want this color to go. So I'm going to look in my mirror and I'm going to map that out. So I'm going to stamp it on right out here. And I am going to go slowly building the color up. So I'm going to dip back in the palette and pick up more shadow. So it is easier to build than it is to blend if you put too much color down at once. So I am just building this color and I'm going to place it right in here. So I'm just tapping it on. Just like that. And then I'm going to really focus it in my outer corner because that is the deep shadow that we have out there. So I'm just taking the same brush, same color. I'm going to lay it down. So when you are working with color and you want a super colorful look, you are going to have to go back and reinforce the shadows as you blend them, just so you know that. So you don't get like worried when you're blending and if it starts to like fade at all. So I'm just going to continue placing this color down where I want it. Just tapping the edges here just to start getting a little bit of a blend, just so when we go in with the greens, there's already sort of a gradient there. Okay, so now I'm going to take the same brush, I'm just gonna like wipe it off, and I'm going to dip it back into the palette, and I'm going to pick up the shade right next to it called PDA. It is a purple color, so I'm going to take that shadow and I'm going to do the same thing but on the inner corner of my eye. So I'm going to place it next to the blue, and I'm just going to map it out. This color is super pigmented. I really am not going to have to dip back in. So I'm just placing that right here, and again I'm going to kind of tap it out. Okay, so once I have the purple down where I want it to be, I'm going to start to blend that color out. So I'm going to go back into the palette and I'm going to take this hot pink shadow here called Scandal, and I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. So I'm going to pick up this Morphe blending brush, looks like this. And I'm going to take that hot pink color, and what I'm going to do is place it a little bit above that purple, and I'm just going to start to blend that color out. Okay, now I feel like I'm in focus. So like I was saying, I'm going to, I hear my dog. I'm just going to pick up that hot pink and I'm going to place it above that purple. And I'm just slowly starting to mesh those two together to help get a blend. So I'm not going to pick up any more product, but I am going to continue blending until I'm satisfied with how it looks. KO! And once I like the pink, I'm going to pick up the yellow. So I'm going to take the yellow here on the same brush, so I am going to clean it off, and I'm just going to place that shadow above the pink, and it's going to create an orange. Just, we don't have to apply an orange shadow. It creates its own little gradient here. And I'm going to continue building up the yellow. I do want it to be pretty bright, so that is a color that I do have to lay down more than once. So you can go ahead and apply the shades as many times as you want until you get the pigmentation that you're wanting. So I am just going to continue laying down the yellow. I love yellow shadow. And then I'm going to go back in with the pink and reinforce the pink. It's all about building, guys. You just have to be patient and continue until you get the color that you're wanting. And then after I'm done with the pink, I'm going to reinforce the purple, and then we're going to move on to the outer area of the eye. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the outer area of my eye now. So to blend out this blue shadow, we're going to take the green. So there's this green here, it's called Greed. I'm just going to take that on a Moda Pro detail brush. So I'm just going to pick up that color and I'm going to place it around the edge of the blue. So I'm just going to work slowly. Again, it is easier to build than it is to blend if you place too much down at once. So I'm just going to slowly place this green down. Same thing, I'm going to follow the shape that we already have. just placing that color out here. So I'm just packing that green around the whole place where we put the blue, and we are going to reinforce the blue, so don't worry about that. So I'm just going to continue laying it down, tapping it out. Okay, so in this palette there's not a lighter green, but I did need a lighter green. So what I did is I mixed the color green with the yellow. I mainly used the yellow, but I did dip into the green and then into the yellow and into the green and then again with the yellow, just because I didn't want to use a different palette because I used 3 in my last video. So I really wanted to make a video with one palette. So I mixed those two. You can see that it's mainly yellow on there, and I'm going to blend out that darker green. So I'm just going to slowly start to blend that out. I am going to have to go back and forth into the palette for this color in specific, since it is like a mixture. And if you put like too much yellow or too much green, you can always go over it again until you get like the limey, like how it looks on this side. Okay, so once I'm satisfied with that lime green, what I'm going to do is reinforce the dark green again. So again, I'm just going to go back and forth until it is blended how I want it to be. So right now I'm just reinforcing the darker green shadow all around here. And then I'm going to again reinforce the blue. So I'm going to again pick up the flat brush and I'm going to pick up more of the blue shadow. I'm just going to reinforce that as well. And then I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that. So what I'm going to do now is cut my crease. So what I'm going to do is again take my concealer. So I'm just going to take a flat shader brush with some of that concealer on it. And I'm going to carve out a half cut crease. So I'm going to look in my mirror and I'm going to place that, and I'm going to try to make the sharpest line. Okay, so once I have that cut out how I like it, I'm going to do the outer corner first. So I'm going to take the brush that had the dark blue shadow. I'm just going to take a little bit of it, and what I want to do is help blend that concealer so it doesn't look like so harsh like that. So I'm just going to tap along the edge here. Just like that, and then I'm going to also put the green. Okay, so the upper eye is pretty much done. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So we're going to move on to the lower lash line. So again, I'm just going to take the first brush we used, and I'm going to take the purple. Since I did do like the blue and the green, I wanted to throw the purple and the pink under the eye. So I'm going to take that purple first, and I'm going to run it under my eye. And then I'm going to take the brush I used the pink on, and I'm going to blend that shadow out with the pink. And then I am also going to place just a little bit of the yellow as well. Okay, so once I have my lash on, the last thing to do is the inner corner of the eye. So what I did first on this side, and I'm just going to do the same thing even though I wish I would have done something different. So I put the yellow down in my inner corner area because I thought it would look cute and it didn't. So then I put something on top of it. So I'm just going to put the yellow. So I put the yellow there first, and then I just took the highlighter that I used on my face, which is the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I took Butterscotch, and I just put that on top of the yellow, and then them mixed together it looks better than just the yellow did. So I'm just going to put that down. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day, and I will catch you later.